Right, good day students. So in this video I'm just going to basically go through all the necessary information that you'll need to prepare you for a testing that is coming up for next class. Alright, so you'll see there that we have revision class. Basically in this topic you have one main instruction, and that is to review all the information that you've received so far. We've learned what visual arts is. We looked at the elements of design, which we focus on mainly two elements so far, dot and line, right? We also created sample charts of all the elements, right? So we should know what a shape look like. We should know what colors look like, texture, space, form, and value, right? Even though some of us did not do it so well. However, if we did our research, which I'm going to basically explain to you guys, if we do our research properly, then we are able to understand what each element should look like. All right, so for example, if it is that I want to know what for example, we have texture gave a lot of us a challenge. So if we want to look at what texture is, we can simply go to Google and we can just type in texture in visual arts, right? And we can select that. And if you click on your images, you see a lot of examples there of what texture is. So guys, if you are struggling with this now, one of the easiest ways for you to demonstrate in your sample chart what texture is to just click on one of these examples and you could go ahead and save it. Now once you have saved it, your best bet is to ensure that you print it, cut it out, and then you paste it inside your sample chart, right? So that's an easy way for you to understand how we identify texture. So let's just simply go back to our classwork here. Now the principles, they work alongside with the elements, right? So they are all listed there. We have not delved into all the principles as yet. The only principle that we have basically kind of talk about with emphasis is basically variety, right? Now we have not yet touched emphasis. I'm just saying that the main principle that we focused on so far is variety, right? And that will bring us to the fact that we did a line design, right? And we use some types of lines such as vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines, zigzag, and curved lines. Now when we say a line design, your main focus should have been trying to execute all of these lines, right? So that is why we say we use a variety of lines instead of just a line, right? So when you use a variety means difference, right? So you have the different types of lines, which is vertical, horizontal, diagonal, zigzag, and curve. All right, so we want to just go back a little here. So once we go back, I'm just going to click on designs and designers topic here. You will notice that I've sent to you guys a YouTube video that will basically demonstrate to you some patterns that you can use in terms of variety of lines. However, I sent you an example of a line design that I created, right? So it's basically using up as much as the types of lines that you can in creating a design or a pattern or something that looks creative. However, we're trying to highlight a variety of lines, right? So this is just a basic example of what you guys should have done, right? So I want to ensure that we observe going forward the instructions and how we can execute them. All right, we have also looked at the sample charts, right? So you have the line sample chart here with the type of lines. I started it, and you guys were supposed to draw this sample in your scrapbook and then finish the type of lines, right? The next step was to ensure that we have all the notes, they were sent to you there, and to also observe that other sample chart. And basically, if you have all this information, you should be able to participate well in your test, and you should also be able to pass your test. All right, so this information is just basically to kind of guide you through what to expect. So just ensure that you review or revise all the elements. Those are the main things that we'll be looking at, all the elements. The only principle that we'll kind of emphasize or we'll kind of highlight is variety, right? The rest of them, we just want to ensure that we know them, to say that, all right, these are the principles. We want to know the elements, to say that these are the elements. You want to know an example of elements, which is probably dots or lines or shapes. You want to know those. We have already started to look at types of lines. You want to know those, as well as you want to know how you can create some different types within the category of lines, right? So you want to ensure that you go through that information. And basically this will conclude for preparing for your test. All right, so I wish you guys all the very best, and I know you will do well.